Hello dear audience and welcome to the fourth part of Leo and Momin's book, so let's hear the rest of the story, and see what these two friends are doing. And I think this part is really great, so don't miss it. Then the two went to a restaurant. Leo, like a professional spy, had hidden Momin inside his backpack and entered cautiously. The neon lights colored the corners of the alley, pink, blue, purple. Like a quiet dream in the heart of the city's bustle. Leo went to a cozy corner, sat down, and slowly unzipped his backpack. Momin, with his bright and curious eyes, peeked out. Leo whispered, "You'd better stay right here. No one should notice. So, tell me, what would you like to eat?" Momin glanced at the colorful menu on the table. He squinted at the pictures, then said in a serious but funny tone. "You go first. What's a beloved dish? I want to see what Earthlings enjoy." Leo smiled and said, "Well, if I'm being honest, right now a big plate of pasta with lots of cheese sounds perfect." Momin, eyes wide with excitement, exclaimed, "Pasta? With cheese? That's only served at royal celebrations in our galaxy. I want the same." Leo laughed and said, "Then tonight, your royalty, little one." The waiter, with mustaches that looked like they'd been drawn with a ruler, approached the table and said formally, "Good evening, sir. What would you like to order?" Leo calmly ordered, "2 cheese pastas, please." The waiter raised an eyebrow in surprise. "Two? You're not alone?" Leo quickly replied, "No. I'm taking one home." The waiter said, "It's better if I pack it in a box for you, that would be easier." Leo said, No need. I'll put it in my backpack." The waiter grew suspicious but said nothing and walked away. As soon as the waiter left, Momin peeked out from the backpack and said, "Did you see that? He was starting to figure out I'm here. I think humans have an active sixth sense." Then, covering his ears with his small furry hands, he said, "If he comes close again, I'll say, meow, maybe he'll think I'm a cat." Leo, now nearly choking with laughter, said, "With that face of yours, you look more like a frog than a cat." Momin pouted and said, "A frog? Excuse me, but you clearly don't know anything about alien creatures. On our planet, we're considered very beautiful. Once at school, they called me Celestial Curly Tail, because of my tail." Just then, the waiter returned with 2 plates of food. Momin, eyes hungry and locked onto the plates, whispered, "If I wait one more second, I'll eat myself." Momin had eaten so much he looked like a puffed-up cheese ball. He couldn't even fit back into the backpack. After paying the bill, they stepped outside. Momin crawled out and took a breath of fresh air. Then they started walking home on foot. Leo said, "Man, today was amazing. I still can't believe how much fun a good friend can bring." Momin, waddling with his full belly and wide steps, replied, "Oh yeah, buddy. I totally nailed my role-playing today. Did you see how I snuck into your mustache?" Suddenly, his eyes caught a soda and drinks stand, and they lit up. He turned to Leo and said, "Whoa, there are so many. Which one tastes the best?" Leo laughed and said, "Wait, do you still have room?" Momin rubbed his belly and said, "If you knew how many stomachs we Galactians have, you'd be shocked. I've only filled one so far." Then he threw himself in front of the fridge at the stand, eyes wide, staring at the colorful bottles. "Are these magical? Why are they so many colors? This one's green. Does it taste like grass? This red one, tomato flavor." Leo burst out laughing. "No way. That's strawberry, and the green one's lemon. Here, take this one, it's soda. Bottoms up." Momin grabbed the bottle, took a huge gulp, paused for a moment, then his eyes widened. "Holy Mother of the Galaxy! Is this soda or dark energy? It's bubbling inside my stomach." Then he let out a cosmic burp that sounded like tribal drums. Passers-by turned to stare. Leo said, "Bro, tone it down. You're embarrassing me." Momin grinned, raised the bottle again, and said, "Not my fault. This is your planet. I'm just getting to know your culture." The next day, Leo's mother received the box. When she opened it and saw the money, tears of joy streamed down her face. Smiling, she opened the letter and read it. Then she said, "My father always said that one day we'd need his help. Now this money can save Adriana's life." With a heart full of excitement and a smile of hope, Leo's mother entered the room and said to Adriana's father, The time has come, there's no need to worry anymore. My father sent us the money we needed. Leo's father, a bit confused and surprised, looked at the letter and the package in his wife's hands. In a quiet voice, he asked, This was really sent by your father? Leo's mother replied joyfully, Yes, look. Everything's here. Now we can take Adriana to the hospital and make sure she gets the proper treatment. Tears of happiness welled up in Leo's father's eyes. With eyes shining, he said, I've waited so long for this good news. Adriana, my dear, we can finally do something for you. You'll be treated soon, my girl. The burly man, still writhing from Leo's kick and the electric shock to his eyes, stormed into the boss's office in fury. With a rough voice, he said, Boss, those two, they trapped me and escaped. But I figured it all out. They took the money and headed toward Roshina. The boss, seated behind his large desk with a cigarette in hand, narrowed his sharp eyes and said, You're telling me two people managed to escape from you, and now they're spending my money? The man, head lowered and voice trembling, replied, Yes, boss. But I know where they went. We can send our men after them. The boss gave a cold laugh and said, Very well. If that's the case, it's time we show them who they're dealing with. Get all our forces ready. This time, there must be no mistakes. Meanwhile, Leo, whose family was now focused on Adriana's treatment, was trying to return to a normal life. He went to school every morning and followed his lessons carefully, but his mind was always occupied with thoughts of his little sister's condition. In the afternoons, he helped out at his father's small workshop. Momin, always by his side, would sometimes lift Leo's spirits with his jokes. For example, while Leo was busy repairing his fishing rod, Momin said in a goofy voice, Leo, I think this screw belongs to a time machine. If you fix it, maybe we can go back and change everything. Leo replied with a gentle smile, Momin, if I had a time machine, I'd only go to one moment. Back when Adriana was healthy and happy. These simple yet meaningful words showed just how much Leo cared about his family. Now that life had settled down a bit, it seemed new adventures were waiting for him and Momin. Momin, sitting on the small workshop table and fiddling with tool parts, suddenly heard a loud beep from his wristwatch. A soft blue light illuminated the watch, and a three-dimensional screen emerged from it. On the screen, a message appeared, written in Momin's home planet's language. Momin's face turned serious as he read the message. Then a strange, buzzing electronic sound came from the watch. Leo didn't recognize the sound, but it clearly meant something important to Momin. Curious, Leo asked, Momin, what's going on? Why do you look so serious? Momin replied in a calm but worried tone, a message just came from my planet. It seems the mission I was assigned isn't finished yet, and things might be more dangerous than I thought. Leo paused for a moment, then asked with concern, You mean, you have to go back? Momin looked at Leo and gave a small smile, I might have to. But I don't want to leave without saying goodbye. You're my best Earth friend, Leo. Now re-energized, Momin looked at Leo with excitement and said, We need to find my spaceship. It's the only way I can return to my planet. Now tell me, where did you hide it? Leo, a bit anxious, replied in a calm voice, Near the sea, under the dock. I had to sink it so no one would find it. But if you want, we can go back and get it. Momin exclaimed in surprise, You sank it? Well, I hope it still works. I can't return to my mission without a ship. Leo replied with a small, meaningful smile, I won't let you face this alone, Momin. Come on, let's go to the dock and find your ship. They gathered their things and headed toward the pier. By the time they reached the sea, the sky had darkened, and the sound of the waves brought a strange calm to the night. Leo pointed under the dock and said, It's there. We need to find a way to bring it back to the surface. Momin, eyes full of hope, said, Well, it's time to get to work. I've got a ton of tools that might help. Leo and Momin began searching beneath the dock. The gentle waves provided a background soundtrack that filled the silence of the night. Momin shone his small flashlight around and said, I think we're getting close to the ship. It should be around here somewhere. Suddenly, a harsh voice rang out behind them, Well, we meet again. Thank you very much for being with us so far, do not forget to subscribe and like your channel, because the story is going to so much interesting. So return to the story of Leo and Momin. Goodbye.